This has really been a horrific, at this stage, 36 hours here in Israel. And the brutality that we saw of Hamas was truly horrible. Of course, a really, really horrific tragedy for us. Now, there's no question about the brutality of this terror organization. Their goal is to kill as many Israelis as possible. There will be a very heavy price that they will pay for what happened here. This has really been a horrific, at this stage, 36 hours here in Israel. Yesterday, Hamas invaded Israel and caused really the largest massacre of Israeli civilians in Israel's history. So the situation is very, very, very dire. We have more than 300 casualties, thousands of injured people, tens of people who were kidnapped off of the streets of Israel and dragged into the Gaza Strip. And the brutality that we saw of Hamas was truly horrible. Of course, a really, really horrific tragedy for us. And right now, the military is working very, very hard to secure the border area. There are some ongoing battles taking place within Israel in communities along the south. And the IDF is doing really everything possible at this stage to secure the border.
What do you think who are inspiring to Hamas group? Who are behind that group? What's your take on that as
well? We know that Hamas is a terror organization. They talk very regularly about wanting to wipe Israel off the map, to target Israeli civilians. They have not hidden that this is their intention. And, unfortunately, this is something that we have been really speaking about clearly to the world. And I think now there's no question about the brutality of this terror organization. Their goal is to kill as many Israelis as possible. They are a terror organization like any other. And this is what we see them doing. It's true horrific terror on the streets.
As you are also aware about the statement by the US President Joe Biden, he is also condemned this attack, and he's also telling to entire world that his country's stand with Israel. What's your take on it? As an entire world is condemning this kind of attack, even Prime Minister Narendra Modi has also condemned this kind of attack. Even some countries are supporting the Philistine, like Pakistan's former Prime Minister has also told, and he has also tweeted on the post of X, he has also stand with Philistine. What's your take on it? What do you think about this kind of supports or stands behind Israel?
Well, I think the widespread support that we're seeing is really a result of the horrors that everybody saw yesterday, certainly that we experienced firsthand here in Israel, but that the world saw. When women and children and elderly people are dragged across the border, when young people who are at a music festival are slaughtered brutally, it's really clear that nobody can support that. That it's so painfully clear that Hamas are war criminals. That what they have done here is horrific and completely inexcusable. So I think it really reflects the fact that the world understands that we are talking about a terror organization looking to terrorize, and that's what we saw.
Can you please explain us about the plannings? If you can reveal this, how the defense force is tackling this kind of attack today, and what's the current situation right now?
So, as I mentioned, right now there are some ongoing battles that are taking place within Israeli territory. So, right now the first focus is to secure the border. The IDF has also started evacuating communities in the south to really try to distance the civilian population from what is taking place. At the same time, the Air Force is striking Hamas targets within the Gaza Strip. And really the focus here is to eliminate Hamas's and the Islamic Jihad's capabilities of being able to do this. It's a complex situation, and of course a dynamic one. The focus though right now is to secure the border, to strike these Hamas targets, and to make sure that they're unable to do this ever again.
What you want to what you want to appeal to entire world as a spokesman of IDF?
Well, I think that the world really sees the horror that we experienced here. What happened here is horrific. As I said, it's the single greatest massacre of Israeli civilians since the country was established. It's a national tragedy to see this take place. And really, we want to send a really clear message, to any other terror organizations that are watching, not to test us, not to get involved. We're of course watching all of our other borders closely, but really to think about the victims of this. I mean, it's a tragedy, truly a devastating tragedy, and to think about all of those innocent lives that were lost, and to send wishes for those who are injured, and to really think about the people that were impacted by this.
One more question. What's your straight message or warning for the Hamas group? What do you want to say them?
Well, I don't think there's anything that I necessarily to speak directly, but I think the military is sending a very clear message here, which is that there will be a very heavy price that they will pay for what happened here. The IDF is striking, the Air Force is striking targets within the Gaza Strip. We will come out victorious from this, but there will be a very, very heavy price to pay for what happened here.
Is there any clear instruction from the Prime Minister Netanyahu to your defense force?
Well, of course, the whole political echelon is, of course, consulting, and then the military takes its guidance from the government and from the political echelon within this country. And there's a very united front around, first and foremost, securing the border, watching for the communities that are in southern Israel, and then striking a very serious blow to Hamas's capabilities within the Gaza Strip.